Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're going to take a look at your weekly tarot. This is good for the week of July 8th through the 14th. We'll take a look first at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll go to the tarot to get some more details about your energy right now, what might be coming in this week, new opportunities or obstacles, and then, of course, the outcome and how you can navigate around anything new that's coming onto your path. So let's jump into it. Let's see what this week has in store for you. So you have grounding, go deep, explore your roots. Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. Okay, it's the number 6, which is your energy, Gemini. And I almost said Libra, so you could be dealing with a Libra. We'll take a look at that. And hope, out of darkness comes light. Okay, this is the number 14, and 1 plus 4 equals 5. There's a shift. There's a change. Okay, so Gemini, this is a good energy, but I feel like you're really anxious about something. Intuitively, you know something has to change. Something has to shift. There has to be something different because what is occurring in your 3D at this time is truly not in alignment with what you want for yourself. And it's not that you're not working hard, right? It's not that you're not trying to manifest something, but there's something keeping you stuck. This is the energy. And, grounding is a great energy, laying a solid foundation. Both of those are, building your roots, building your strong foundation for the life that you do want for yourself. But there's also this sense, and I'm getting this, I never have had this, I think, with this card before. So you see how she's sitting there by the tree and she's gazing out at the water. And the sense that I'm getting with this is that you're kind of feeling stuck, right? And it's water represents our emotions. And you see, if you look really closely, she has a book in her hand. Okay, so it's like she's sitting there. It's not like she's really looking at the book. Okay, but to me, I feel like there's some spiritual insight, wisdom. It's almost like, wow, this is kind of powerful, Gemini. And, I should have started off mentioning that we had the new moon in Cancer on Friday, okay? So we're still in the shadows of that, and will be for, the good part of this week. And the new moon in Cancer is all about emotions, okay, especially around, it's in your second house of material things, of, self-confidence, the way that, you are interacting with the outside world. And I feel like there's something here where I'm going to say there's like an internal burden or an internal obstacle. Something that's weighing your heart down, okay? Now, it could have something to do with a relationship, but I don't feel like it's the relationship itself. There's the lesson, perhaps, that you're meant to learn through that relationship. This is a true, emotional unloading, a burden unloading. Like, you are literally, that book is being represented to me like you're going back through your past. And I'm not saying you have to spend a lot of time unlocking the past. I think you've done that, Gemini. But it's almost kind of like understanding that there's something that you have to allow yourself. There's a truth. There's a truth within yourself. There's a truth that you have to allow yourself to almost like admit to yourself about perhaps something that maybe you have been shoving under the rug, okay? This could have anything to do. It could have something to do with your health, your finances, your self-esteem, okay? Because we're talking especially about second house. Your resources, your time, your energy. It's almost like there's something that you're allowing yourself to see the truth of, and it's a little bit I'm going to say something that really, like, you almost don't want to admit this to yourself, how you have allowed this emotional kind of like burden or wound to prevent you from building the life that you really and truly want. It's the thing that's holding you back, Gemini. And I think for some of you, yeah, see, it's kind of like you have the milestone card, right? It's kind of the energy of understanding out of the darkness of perhaps this look. And then there are no accidents. The next thing is fast vistas, right? There's something that is weighing you down. There's this heaviness to this energy. Being grounded is a beautiful energy. And I'm not saying that you don't want to be grounded as this emotion is coming up, right? You might be in a really good grounding energy at this time so that you can look at what's really your own self-sabotaging habit or routine, mindset, whatever this is, like allowing yourself to take a look at it and then allowing yourself to say, okay, I see it. Because that's when the doors of opportunity open for you. That's when something magical literally opens for you, right? It's kind of like out of the darkness, out of the blue, okay? This occurs for you. It's almost like you're unlocking. You see how he's in a box right there? It's kind of like you're unlocking that. And it's a truth. It's a truth you're telling yourself. It's a truth that you've been kind of like almost hiding from yourself. I have to say, if you feel like lately you have been kind of like shown, remember, other people in our life, whether they're, in a movie or in pop, like the kind of like the world itself, okay? Or if it's a true relationship that's in your life, there's almost kind of like this sense, if you have been shown where people have not been truly truthful with you, perhaps like kind of telling you the truth, but not the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, right? It's kind of like holding back. There's this energy of somebody, or you could have several things, right? Where it's kind of like you could be finding yourself saying, why didn't you tell me that before, right? Or something like that. And it's because it's almost like being mirrored to you so that you can see where you're not telling yourself the truth. This isn't necessarily where you're not telling somebody else the truth. It could be that you're holding back, that you're not telling somebody the truth. But it's really about what truth are you not telling yourself? Wow, this is like, this is the key. This is the key. This actually changes your life. It's totally life-changing for you because you're understanding how you have been holding yourself back. Yeah, there's something here. Look, first card out, hidden motivations. I think here's the thing. It's kind of like you could be going back and looking at this book, and the book could represent experiences that you have had in this lifetime where people had hidden motivations with you in their relationships with you, right? They had hidden motivations. They weren't upfront. They weren't completely truthful with you. There was something that they were holding back on. They may have been sharing some of the truth, but not all of the truth. Wow. Yeah. So it's this energy is really strong. That anxiety when somebody is like getting ready to tell you the truth, and it's kind of like you kind of like want to hear it, and yet at the same time you want to put your fingers in your ears and go, no, I don't want to hear this, right? It's a little bit like that. It's a little bit, you're your boss, you know, told you that everything was fine at work, and then suddenly you don't get the promotion you wanted or the raise that you wanted, or, you know, your romantic partner says, oh yeah, everything in our relationship is fine, and then, whew, take a deep breath, Gemini, take a deep breath. Because I think you already know what this is. It's almost like you already know what this is. And if it's the truth is going to actually, yes, the truth is actually going to bring you this sense of balance. You're no longer going to be held back. You're going to take a look at the situation and you're going to say, oh my gosh, I have allowed this to hold me back for so long. It completely transforms you and takes you in the direction that your heart truly desires. Whether this is you see a person in your life for who they truly are, their hidden motivations, and then you're kind of like, okay, why did I pretend? It's almost like I want to say it's almost like you're gaslighting yourself, not wanting to believe what is really the truth in front of you. Yeah, it's kind of like, and then deception. Okay, so there's two parts of it. You have somebody that perhaps, and it could be that even just with this new moon energy, you're seeing a situation that happened in the past, right? That book. It just seems like it could be something that happened in the past. You're sitting there, you're by the water, you're meditating, you're resting. There's something here. Your angels are coming in because you have the ascended masters, right? Your angels are coming in. Your spirit guides are coming in. They're going to be there. It's almost like they're comforting you because this is a tremendous release for you. Yeah, we have the Four of Wands and the Star. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful energy. And you know, the beaver spirit lay a solid foundation, right? The Four of Wands is all about strong foundation, the four pillars, right? You know, weddings, celebrations, financial stability, security, the 3D. There's a lot of the 3D. This healing. It's almost like this helps you to unlock what has really been holding you back so that you can, something has to come to an end. Something's coming to an end in this moon. Okay, so we have the full moon here in this, but I think by the full moon. So that would be in about 2 weeks. Okay, I would say by the end of July, you're having this decision to make. It's almost like a little bit of a wake-up call. And I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything like that. It's almost like a wake-up call where you recognize, I cannot continue to hide my own truth from myself. The reason, the motivation of maybe why you stayed in a relationship way too long. Like you could be out of the relationship. You could have been out of the relationship for 10 years. Okay. But you were in the relationship for a long time, right? And it's kind of like, okay, why did I stay in that relationship? Like you're really kind of unlocking something so that you can step out of some energy that has been holding you back. It's something that's heavy on your heart that has been holding you back. It could be from childhood, okay? It could be something from childhood. It could be family. We definitely have a lot of family energy here. It's kind of like you're going in a completely different direction, but maybe it's not a completely different direction. It's your energy about how you are going to proceed in your life. It's taking a completely different energy. I think you overgave. There's an energy here, right, where you have overgiven perhaps for a very long time. And you're recognizing how that really and truly held you back. There's this sense that the universe is saying, this is karmic. We have the Libra, here's the Libra energy. Yeah, that was coming in earlier. You could be dealing with a Libra. You don't have to be. It could have something to do with some type of a legal situation, right? Where you feel as if, I feel like somebody is hiding their motive or something like that, but you're understanding what is your motive. If you've been like really kind of like upset about some situation, and once again, I don't think this is happening this week. This is something that's happened already. Okay, so it's kind of like the energy of this is that it's something that has been weighing on your heart for a very long time. It could be something that you have been wanting to say to somebody. I mean, there's almost like this little bit of anger, resentment that's coming in with this energy. And yet at the same time, you haven't had that conversation with this person. It's time. The universe is like, you know what? This is affecting you more than you recognize. This is weighing you down. It's preventing you from being this beautiful, right, healed, balanced energy that you really and truly want. And it's not, once again, that you haven't been working on healing this. It's kind of like looking at the truth about, you know, I mean, this could even be something where you're resentful of a relationship that ended a long time ago and you're having a hard time like moving forward, moving into a new relationship. There's something where you're understanding how you are holding yourself back because of something. I really and truly do believe that somebody else did or said and a while ago. And it's kind of like you're understanding. I thought I was over that. I thought I was willing to and ready to move forward. I'm going to say with all this grounding energy, there is a lot of root chakra energy. This is about safety and security. The root chakra, usually, you know, whenever we have traumatic events in our life or big changes in our life, our root chakra is affected. It could be that this would be a great time for you to really do some healing energy with your root chakra. You can eat red foods that are grown in the ground, spending time in nature, barefoot if possible, right? Soaking in the loving, mothering energy of Mother Earth. Nurturing yourself, taking really good care of yourself. Really kind of like focusing on how you have created some stability in your life. I feel like you have. Like this event happened and you have created some stability in your life. It may not yet be where you want it to be, right? But this, the Star card, is about wishes coming true, right? I feel like for some of you, this is a conversation that comes in out of the blue. You might get to say what it is that you want to say, or you recognize in some moment, oh my goodness, this has held me back more than I realized. Because, yeah, here you are, you're concentrating on what you lost. Oh my goodness, Gemini, this is a really intense energy, really concentrating on what you lost. And I think you lost something not because of an action of yours, but an action of somebody else. But you're concentrating on what somebody stole from you. There's, you know, and it does not have to be like a physical object that was stolen, right? It could be a dream that was broken. This could be, you know, have to do with a relationship. You know, somebody saying something that was not true about you and other people believed it, because we have this karma here. And it's kind of like understanding somebody may have walked out of your life because they believed them and not you. It could be a job that you lost that really you know was not really rightfully ended. There's something here about karma coming into play. Understanding that there's two folds. I think you're understanding how you had to go on this path to kind of like delve into whatever this is, to see the injustice in some situation. Oh, wow, that energy. I think you're angry. You see the injustice in something that is going on around you, and it's reminding you of the injustice that you have kind of gone through. And it's allowing you to kind of unlock this. Yeah, look at this. You have divine timing and hostilities. These hostilities, these energies, these emotions around something that was taken from you unjustly, right? Because, and it could be, we have Cancer energy, we have Libra energy, Scorpio energy, Aquarius energy. You could be dealing with a person that is, you know, one of those signs, but it doesn't have to be. But this is the energy of understanding, wow, I think you're kind of angry on some level. I think that it's an energy of kind of angry or frustrated with yourself that you've allowed this. There's almost like, oh my gosh, like, why did I, I'm getting like frustrated here. Why did I allow this to hold me back for so long? There's part of you that is also kind of like understanding how you have self-sabotage. Like this person sabotaged you in some way. Okay, but you're understanding that it was just a mirror for how you were self-sabotaging yourself. Perhaps lying, you know, if they lied to you, lying to yourself, if they didn't love you, if it's unrequited love, right? How you haven't loved yourself. It's whatever it is, it's kind of like being mirrored to you. And your spirit guides, your angels, they want this gone. They want this gone. They're like, there's work to be done. There's dreams to fulfill. There's places to go and new people to see. And there's no time for this kind of like lollygagging. It's kind of like, all right, this may be a little bit difficult. And yet at the same time, right? It's kind of like the time is now. Here's the fork in the road. Are you going to continue just rehashing the past, hoping that perhaps whatever this is just dissipates? Or are you willing to kind of like say, okay, I'm ready to look at it? And, you know, for some of you, you may even want to kind of like work with a therapist or a good friend or somebody that you can talk to. Because I feel like for some of you, you're going to be like, I got to work through this. I can't put it under the rug anymore. If there's something that you feel like you have kind of put off for a long time, kept saying, you know, well, I'll get to that when I blah, blah, blah. It could be just simply doing that. You know, maybe this is talking to your financial planner. Maybe this is, you know, you have some underlying health issue. You have it because it's second house, right? Anything in finances or your health, something that you've been like shoving under the rug, not taking a look at. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong there, okay? It's just kind of like you're not being truthful with yourself about something, right? It's kind of like taking good care of yourself, taking good care of your health and your finances, your home, anything that is second house, like material things, or with, you know, your car. Maybe you have something that you think is kind of like not good with your car, but you haven't really taken a look at it, or you're overdue on an oil change, or you need new tires. It's very much that energy of taking good care of yourself and your things. Plumbing. Okay, so they're saying plumbing. Maybe some of you have a plumbing issue in your home and you're just kind of like, well, I'll get to it when I get enough money, or blah, blah, blah. But if you let that keep going, then what happens, right? And then all of a sudden, a little problem is a big problem. And I think there's something about asking yourself, it's not just whatever this thing is, okay? Because I think you actually will have a good outcome with that. But it's kind of like asking yourself, why did you put it off for so long? That's the truth you need to tell yourself. Because you're almost like being delusional or self-sabotaging yourself by not taking care of this, because actually it's pulling down your energy, because whether you realize it or not, you're thinking about it quite often. Like if it's a plumbing issue, every time you get in the shower, you're like, oh, is it going to clog up this time, or whatever the issue is, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to see. You're allowing this to fester. You're not allowing yourself to let go of this and asking yourself that difficult question, why? Why are you not taking care of this? That has something to do with unlocking this very exciting healed energy and going forward in a new way, or in a new direction. If it's like with your finances, it's kind of like you may not want to know, and yet at the same time, if you don't know the truth, then how can you plan for the future? It's holding yourself almost accountable for the things that, especially in your second house, that it's time to take a look at. This is very transformative. It really is going to help you to really align. It's almost like you're allowing this to divert your energy, your time, your resources from where it is that you really want to go, right? It's kind of like, but you're not actually doing anything about it. So it's kind of like, okay, go take care of this. Whatever this is, Gemini, go take care of it. Because this is going to help you to know. It's almost like it gives you a little bit of the truth. Okay, first of all, you find out the truth of where you really stand with whatever this issue is. But then you also find out the truth of why you haven't wanted to deal with it. And in that, it allows you to step into a brand new energy. This is beautiful energy, right? The way there is to help yourself to understand how you are holding yourself back, right? And I think it has something about not telling the truth, or almost like gaslighting yourself. And especially if you have had a lot of people in your life that have gaslighted you, okay? It's kind of like understanding, okay, I attracted in these people that were gaslighting me, but how am I gaslighting myself? Because we attract in what we are, right? Yeah. There's something about this. You know, one thing you could do, because she has that book, is to take a look at all the times in your life when people were holding back information from you, secrets. You know I grew up in a home that it was kind of like, there were a lot of secrets kept from me as a child, right? And then you find out those secrets later in life, and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, right? You have a completely different perception of things when you find out the truth. And I also grew up in a family where it was kind of like, what goes on in this house is not spoken about outside the house, right? So it's kind of like understanding that maybe, because this is root chakra energy, how the way that you grew up may have had something to do with how you are, like, not allowing yourself to take a look at the truth in some situation, or the truth in how you are perhaps kicking the can down the road and not taking care of things that you really and truly need to take care of. I think part of it could be that you're a little bit like me, Gemini, and it's kind of like, yeah, but I'm a Gemini, so I just flip from here to there, and I always land on my feet, things will be good. And it's kind of like understanding, but at the same time it's weighing you down emotionally, maybe with anxiety about what is the truth about the plumbing, right? Like, how much is that going to cost, right? It's kind of like, or what's really going on with that, funny noise in the engine of my car, right? It's kind of like, I understand it's that anxiety. It's kind of like, okay, how much is that going to cost me? I think there's something about how much is it going to cost me, either financially or emotionally, mentally, physically. How much is it going to cost me? and being fearful of losing, right? Once again, the sense of loss. You're concentrating on what you're fearful of losing instead of understanding that when you get this monkey off your back, right, that you are going to feel lighter and brighter, and you're going to be willing and able. You're going to have the time, the energy, the resources to go in the direction that you really want to go in. Wow, powerful. Okay, Gemini, I was not expecting that. So let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, how can I infuse more self-love and compassion into my daily life? If your compassion does not include yourself, it is incomplete. And that's a Buddha quote. Trying to get it to... And it says, choose one self-care action to do today. I think there is something about really taking good care of yourself. That's very much grounding energy, right? Set stronger boundaries, meditate and listen to your heart, speak to yourself with compassion, focus on your strengths, okay? So you could be focusing on maybe, you know, what you don't have, or the skills, the talents, the strengths that you feel like you don't have and you need. Say no to something that isn't a soul yes, and say yes to something you're afraid of. Let go of what you cannot control. This is a situation where you can't really control it. It's kind of like understanding that. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to surrender to whatever this is. I'm going to allow myself to walk through this, whatever it is, because on the other side, there is this beautiful energy. So it's worth allowing yourself to walk through this. Yeah. Stay away from drama and negativity. Ask for help and allow it. And write down 3 things that you are grateful for. Okay, I really love that. One of my favorite quotes is, and I think it's from The Wedding Date. And he says something to her about, the hardest thing is to love another and then to have the courage to allow them to love you. I feel like there is something here for that, because that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure exactly of that quote. I probably really mashed it up, but it's something like that. Like, Gemini, I think you're very easy. It's very easy for you to love others, right? But it's also about allowing other people to love you, especially if there's a situation here, right? Allowing other people to love you, but also allowing yourself to love yourself, to have compassion for yourself as much, if not more, than the love and the compassion that you have for other people. This is helping you to see how you are perhaps sabotaging your own happiness and success, having your own dreams come true. When you sabotage your own dreams by perhaps just putting them under the rug and not wanting to deal with it. All right, I'm going to go get my car fixed because I have had this little noise. So I'm going to go check that out. All right. I love you so much, Gemini. It's so good to see you. I wish you so much love and light, and I will see you on Wednesday. Much love. Bye-bye.